How's everybody doing today? I hope you're having a great day. It's a little overcast here in Michigan. Pretty much the the everyday thing here in midwinter, spring, whatever you want to call it, late winter. And the pressure is pretty much rocking my head. Some people with Chiari understand that the pressures from the barometric pressure as it rises and lowers affects our heads, the pressure, our headaches, etc. Anyways, hope everybody's having a good day. Otherwise, people who may have seen my first video want to know what makes this guy qualified to talk about the troubles we have with Chiari. Well, I'm going to share my story with you. This is going to be therapeutic, I'm sure, for me. Won't be too easy. As I told a dear close friend of mine, I can talk to people face to face, online, friends, family, and relay my story. Talk to people face to face and not have a problem. This is, I'll be honest, is going to be a little unnerving because people that don't know me are going to see this. People that know me but don't know my story are going to see this. Maybe it'll help them understand. If not, not my problem. I'll be honest. But I'm willing to help and educate and help anyone that I can. So without further rambling, this is it. It's kind of crazy. I can actually remember the day that Chiari actually, I guess you could say, took hold of my life. It was May 5th, 2011. The reason I remember is it was my son's track meet. He was shot put. And, shot puts outdoors in the grass, sitting in the grass watching, playing with my little great nephew, and I sneezed. And that's all it took to change my life forever. A lot of people don't realize that with Chiari, a lot of times you're born with it. A lot of people have it and don't even realize it because it does not affect them at all. A lot of times it's not even found unless there's MRIs done because of symptoms. Sometimes it's misdiagnosed as many, many things, and I could go on forever about that, but that's not what we're here for today. But anyways, I sneezed and my head just instantly started hurting with what I thought was the worst migraine ever. Couldn't see straight. The pressure felt like my eyes were bulging. My ears felt like they were popping out of my head. My nose felt like a big, huge clown nose. Anyways, I just figured, being an athlete, suck it up. It's just a headache, a migraine, it'll go away. I've been an athlete my whole life. Injuries, you play, you hurt, you heal, you get done, you move on. Well, after about a month, non-stop, without a moment rest of this, what I thought was a migraine, it affected everything, sleep, work. I finally went to a neurologist first. I don't remember why. I think because I didn't have a primary care at the time. So I went to a neurologist. Don't get me wrong, he's a very good neurologist, but he really, at the time, we didn't know it was Chiari. So we tried meditation, which sounds funny. That actually does help in certain situations. Try to bring everything to center and relax. And his reasoning is to calm the nerves. You could go on from there. Didn't work, obviously. Finally, after about 6 months of treatment with him, we got an MRI. The MRI showed that I had Chiari type 1, and he was very upfront and honest. He's told me he knew what he called it a disease at the time. We know it's just a medical condition, not a disease. I really don't. It's called many things. To me, disease is a whole different thing, like cancer or the plague. Who knows? Uh, but he admitted that he had never had a patient with it, so he wasn't exactly sure how to approach it, what to do. He was just a neurologist. We tried various things, some minor medications for pain. Obviously, we all know the minor ones don't work for the majority of us. Some they do, and that's awesome for you. Mine, not a chance in hell, to be honest with you. So I was referred to, by this time I had gotten to primary care. After another couple more months treatment, so we're looking around 8 or 9 months. I had my primary care for a couple months, and he knew what I was dealing with. He was clueless on Chiari Malformation, and actually, I don't want to say thanks to me, because that's not something I wanted to give somebody, but the reason to research, see what the hell this thing was that his patient had that he was treating. And he referred me to, well, because of my experience being completely negative, I'm not going to say the college up here in Michigan, but it's a really big one, and it has rodents as their mascot, or badgers, or, I don't know, wolverines maybe. I was honestly disappointed because they are a top-notch medical facility in the Midwest. Their neurologist was clueless. His treatment was, oh, try this medicine, try this medicine. That didn't work, let's try this medicine. Yeah, it took me all of 3 months to say, the hell with you. And I just stopped going and started researching neurosurgeons, finding the best. I wanted to find the best. I didn't care what it cost. I was sick and tired of this. I'm fortunate because I have great insurance, so cost wasn't a complete issue. But that didn't matter. I wanted the best I could find in my area. And I got extremely lucky because one of the top Chiari specialists in the company, neurosurgeons, and it is about 2 hours away from me in Royal Oak, Michigan. Her name is Dr. Holly Gilmer. She's a wonderful woman. I have never had any issues with her. Of course, with every doctor, there's some that just aren't satisfied, and I don't blame them. I love the lady. She changed my life. And it took me a couple months to get in, so by now we're at a year. No, actually, my timeline's messed up. Something that a lot of people Chiari realize is that memories aren't always good. Our memory doesn't always work. It was about a year and a half, just short of 2 years, when I first went to see Dr. Gilmer. So we're around 2014, so it's actually been 3 years, about mid-2014. Ish. Yes. About the end of 2014. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. Everything's just a jumble from there. Anyways, after treatment with my neurologist, going to that Michigan college, which was, anyways, I finally found her, did research, watched her videos on YouTube. She has a couple lectures, multiple research grants. If it's a degree, she's got it. Granted, that doesn't always mean you know what you're doing. As a doctor, a physician, a lawyer, who knows? But this wonderful lady does. So we did. She looked at my MRI and instantly said, "Yes, you do have Chiari. You're herniated." I think it was 7 millimeters, 5 to 7 millimeters. Again, I'm sorry. The memory's not perfect, and I honestly didn't take the time to look up my MRI before I made this video. So any inaccuracies, I apologize. And she recommended me for decompression surgery. And I've had multiple surgeries. I've had a couple knee surgeries, shoulder surgeries. I've had bone removed in my shoulders. I've had reconstructive Tommy John surgery on my right. Injuries, plenty. No big deal. When she said she recommended me for surgery, I was like, wait, that's brain surgery, right? And she's like, yeah. And I kind of paused. And I was like, holy shit. What the hell's going on here? Anyway, she went through and explained what the surgery, the decompression surgery would be. But she would go in the base of my skull and remove a portion of bone and cut the bottom part of my brain out, which is called the tonsils. And then put a new patch called a Dura over top, glue me back up, and I'd be good to go. Well, Mr. Brave, it's just an injury, we'll get through it. I pumped the brakes real quick, because when she said just gonna cut a part of your brain out, she said it nonchalantly, because, well, granted, she's done thousands of these surgeries, but I hadn't had one yet, let alone thousands. And when somebody tells me they're gonna cut a part of my brain out, I don't have a lot of luck with what I have. I don't want to lose any more. It's the first thing that happened was my heart dropped. Like, holy shit, what is this? Then the next thing that hit my mind as she was talking and saying this was, am I going to have to learn to talk again? Walk? What rehab is there going to be? I can't be not working for 6 months at a time. I don't want to relearn all this stuff. I can't do this. I just can't do it. And so naturally at first I hesitated, and she said, well, we could do nothing, and you could always hope things will get better, but I'm pretty much telling you, I'll be honest, it's not going to get better. I said, thank you very much, and I will get back with you with my decision. I knew subconsciously in my mind that I was going to have the surgery instantly, because I just was tired of dealing with the pain, and it was almost debilitating at days where I just did not want to get out of bed. Walking my dog was hell on earth. Bless him, because he was Just the best dog ever. He's my big buddy. But it took a couple months to think it over. Finally, it just got way too much pain, so I called her back and said, hey, let's do it. Well, that date was October 7, 2015. So by now it was been just over 4 years. Like I said, my timeline is all screwed up. Basically, the steps are the same. Now that I'm thinking of the timeline, it's way screwed up. But all the steps in order and how I came about this are accurate. So that day came. Building up to that day, my evil twin, big supporter for me, and family, friends, and hey buddy, to me, in my mind, I had to categorize it as it's just another surgery. I've had many of them. I already knew that the recovery would be short, 3 months tops was the estimation. Okay, bud. I was good with that. Not gonna lie though, brain surgery, that's a big thing. And I'd always joke with friends that, yeah, it's brain surgery, but they're taking out a part I don't use, and there's a lot of it in there that I don't use. Maybe it'll help. And that's how I convinced myself that it wasn't, to myself, that it wasn't a big deal. Everything was going to be okay, knowing that it was a big deal. Decompression surgery is a big deal, and it's not an easy decision to make at all. And the day came. I don't remember what time I went in, but I come out of surgery, and I just remember waking up, and my parents were there, and they were leaving the room, and I'm like, wait a minute, I just woke up and you're freaking leaving? And they explained that I'd been out a while. The surgery took longer than expected because as they were getting ready to go in, my brain was actually resting on my skull. So there was a lot of extra risk, added trouble to go through. I felt okay. Granted, that could have been the morphine. And then I was out again. I remember the next morning waking up, obviously in intensive care, you know, graded through the night. They give me meds, check on me, etc., etc. Move me to a room. Honestly, I felt great. I felt so much better than I thought I would feel. Anyways, to make a long story short here, because I have rambled on, didn't think it would be this. Anyways, actually, within 2 days, Dr. Gilmer came in and they wanted me to stand up, you know, sit up, stand up, see how my balance and everything was. And I'll be honest, I felt fine from the start. They actually had to put an alarm on the bed so I wouldn't get up and use the restroom without a nurse there. And that's just something else. And I was discharged 3 days later, from 3 days after my surgery. Fast forward, it relieved a lot of my symptoms, some of my symptoms, not a lot. I still get tingling in my hands and feet, crazy bad. I have, and you may notice, not so much with my glasses on, I have what is affectionately referred to by myself and friends as eyegasms, where my eyes just blink uncontrollably. Some days so much if they just hurt open. Still get pressure headaches, still have headaches. I still have a lot of symptoms. But it's made a difference, little as it is. And over these last 3 years, 2 years, going on 3, 2.5 going on 3, I've slowly come out of a really deep depression, which that will be for another video. I started living life as well as I can. Granted, I don't do roller coasters, I can't do stuff like that. I try to go to as many concerts, rock concerts or country concerts as I can, because I love doing that before. I'm not up close by the stage and stuff anymore because it just rattles my brain and it can't be done. I do what I can. Some days sometimes I'll go and it just can't take it. But I'm going anyways. And I try not to be a killjoy with my friends when I go. I do what I can. So, part of my, I guess you can say, therapy is doing this channel, talking about it, trying to help people. I want to help other people. Years before this, I participated in, organized Relay for Life teams, captain for 15 years. Did raise money for cancer and Relay for Life. Another cause that is near dear to my heart, but it's taken a backseat to this. There's plenty of people doing stuff and helping people with cancer, but very few that are helping and raising awareness for Chiari, and I think this is my reason for this. I think this is why I have this, because I've always been a person to help others, and this is my way of doing that. Could go on forever, but this is long enough for now. But that's pretty much my background. Hope I didn't bore you. Now, a lot of you people, a lot of friends know stuff they didn't. That being said, remember to smile whenever you can.